All right, so today we're going to take a deep dive into something pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Thailand on a budget.
Ooh.
So we're talking those like idyllic beaches, vibrant markets, just incredible food.
Yeah.
And the goal is how to do all that without completely draining your bank account.
Right.
So, you've shared some travel guides with me. We even have a Reddit thread here from expats who are living in Thailand.
Nice.
And so we're really going to go deep on some of these like insider secrets to stretch those backer.
Mm-hmm.
So whether you're a seasoned backpacker, or maybe this is your first trip to Southeast Asia ever, get ready because we're about to uncover some serious saving strategies.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that I thought was really interesting is that while Thailand is still considered budget friendly,
Right.
especially when compared to like Europe or North America, it's not quite the ultra cheap destination that it once was.
Yeah. Tourism has boomed and a lot of infrastructure development has happened.
Right.
Especially around those tourist hotspots, and that's driven prices up.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. But the good news is you can absolutely have an amazing experience without spending a fortune.
And that's reassuring to hear.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not about expecting those like rock bottom prices from, backpacker lore or whatever.
Yeah.
It's more about knowing the smart ways to travel now.
Exactly. It's about being savvy and strategic with your choices.
Right.
So we're going to focus on two key areas today.
Okay.
First, saving on the essentials, things like your accommodation, food, transport. That's stuff that you can't avoid.
Right.
And second, unlocking those high-value experiences, whether it's sightseeing, unique cultural attractions, or even get this dental work.
Okay. Dental tourism in Thailand.
It's a thing.
All right. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
We'll have to dive into that a little bit more.
Absolutely.
But first, let's talk about where to stay.
Okay.
Our sources mention hostels quite a bit.
Yeah.
And not just like the basic ones, but some that have what they call more of a flashpacker vibe.
Yeah, flashpacker is a great term.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
Essentially, it's budget travel, but with an emphasis on comfort and style.
Okay.
Think like design-focused hostels. Maybe they have social events, a co-working space even.
Right.
Those are popping up all over Thailand, especially in cities.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what about dorms versus private rooms?
Okay.
Like, are private rooms even budget friendly?
It depends.
Okay.
Dorms are obviously the cheapest.
Right.
But private rooms in hostels, especially on the mainland,
Okay.
they can be surprisingly affordable.
Okay.
Especially compared to like hotels. And here's a recurring theme you'll notice.
Okay.
The islands are generally pricier than the mainland.
Yeah.
Sometimes significantly so.
Gotcha.
So that's something to keep in mind when you're planning your itinerary.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you're on a tight budget, maximizing your time on the mainland might be the way to go.
Exactly.
But what if you're like dreaming of those island vibes and want to stay a little bit longer?
Well, for longer stays, especially if you're comfortable with a less traditional setup,
Okay.
consider work exchanges or house sitting.
Okay.
So that's free accommodation
Oh, wow.
in exchange for, some work,
Okay.
which could be anything from helping out at a hostel to tending a garden. It's a fantastic way to immerse yourself in local life.
Right.
And really stretch your budget.
That's a great tip.
Yeah,
I like that. It sounds like a win-win.
absolutely.
Like a unique experience and free accommodation.
Exactly.
So, all right, now let's talk food.
Oh, okay.
Because, Thai cuisine is a major highlight for anyone traveling to Thailand.
Oh, absolutely. And here's where you can really save street food.
Okay.
It's not only delicious
Right.
and authentic, but it's incredibly cheap.
Yeah.
We're talking meals for as little as $2, sometimes even less.
Wow, $2 a meal?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is.
But I know some people are hesitant about street food,
Sure.
especially when it comes to hygiene.
I understand the concern.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, some of the best food you'll have in Thailand will be from street vendors.
Right.
The key is choosing wisely.
Okay.
Look for stalls that have a high turnover of customers. A queue of locals is always a good sign.
Right.
And vendors that use separate utensils for handling money and food,
Okay.
those are good indicators of cleanliness and quality.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to dive into the street food scene. Just be smart about it.
Exactly.
So what if you want a break from the heat or looking for something a little different?
Yeah.
Our sources mention shopping mall food courts.
Yes. Shopping mall food courts are a hidden gem in Thailand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they offer incredible variety.
Okay.
Comparable prices to street food.
Right.
And crucially, air conditioning.
Oh, I'm sold.
Right.
Yeah.
That's important. Plus, they're a great option if you're traveling with a group. And, maybe you can't all agree on a single cuisine.
Right.
Everyone can find something they like.
That's a fantastic tip, especially for those scorching afternoons when you need a break from the sun.
Yeah, for sure.
Now let's talk about something that can easily derail a budget.
Oh, yeah.
The temptation of Western food.
It's understandable.
Right.
Especially when you're in a new place and craving those familiar flavors.
Totally.
But here's the thing. Western food in Thailand, while sometimes decent, it's often overpriced compared to the local cuisine.
Okay.
You're essentially paying a premium for familiarity.
So stick to the amazing local food.
Yes.
Both for your taste buds and your wallet.
Exactly.
It's part of the authentic Thai experience, right?
Absolutely. And the money you save can be spent on other experiences, like those unique attractions we'll be talking about later.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's move on to getting around Thailand.
Okay.
Because efficient and affordable transport is key to any budget trip. All right, so let's unpack those transportation options.
Let's do it. When it comes to navigating Thailand, especially, Bangkok public transport is your best friend.
Okay.
The city has two excellent systems.
Okay.
The MRT, which is the underground metro, and the BTS, which is the elevated SkyTrain.
Okay.
Both are super easy to use, efficient, and incredibly cheap.
I read in one of the guides that a 20-minute ride on either system can cost less than 50 batons.
Yep.
That's less than $2.
It's amazing.
That's crazy.
And they cover a lot of ground, connecting major tourist areas, shopping districts.
Right.
Now, while taxis and ride-hailing apps like Grab or Bolt, they offer convenience, especially for shorter trips or on the islands where public transport might be limited.
Right.
You can't visit Thailand without experiencing a tuk-tuk ride.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
A tuk-tuk ride is a quintessential Thai experience.
It is.
It's a must-do even if just once.
At least once.
Yeah, but I've heard stories about tourists getting overcharged. Any tips on avoiding that?
Negotiating is key.
Okay.
Always agree on the price before you get in, and don't be afraid to haggle a bit.
Okay.
Most drivers are friendly, and they expect some playful bargaining.
Okay.
It's part of the fun.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Haggling is definitely a skill I need to practice.
Right.
Now, what about exploring the islands?
Okay.
Our sources mentioned scooter rentals.
Scooters are a fantastic way to explore the islands at your own pace.
Yeah.
They're readily available for rent, and the cost is quite low.
Okay.
Especially compared to taxis.
Right.
However, safety should always be your top priority.
Of course.
Wear a helmet. Be aware of your surroundings. And if you're not a confident rider, stick to taxis or other forms of transport.
Yeah, safety first, definitely.
Definitely.
And when it comes to traveling between cities or regions, our sources suggest a mix and match approach.
Yeah.
Depending on your budget and your time.
Exactly. Buses are generally the most affordable option, especially for long distances.
Right.
You've got regular buses, and then you have VIP buses with more comfortable seats and amenities.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And for those on a tighter schedule,
right,
flights can be surprisingly cheap.
They can.
Especially with budget airlines like AirAsia.
Yeah, absolutely. AirAsia is a game changer for budget travel in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
They often have incredible deals, especially if you book in advance or during promotional periods.
Right.
Just be mindful of baggage allowances.
Okay.
Budget airlines tend to be strict on that.
Good point.
Yeah.
And what about overnight travel?
Okay.
Seems like a good way to save on accommodation.
You can definitely find overnight buses and trains.
Okay.
And even some budget airlines offer red-eye flights.
Right.
It's a good way to maximize your time and save on a night's accommodation.
Right.
Just be prepared for a less than luxurious experience.
Okay.
And pack earplugs and an eye mask for some semblance of sleep.
Sounds like essential items for any backpacker's toolkit.
Pretty much.
All right, so we've covered the basics of getting around.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about sightseeing.
Okay.
Because Thailand is brimming with incredible sights and experiences, many of which, as our sources highlight, are completely free.
Free is always good.
Right.
Thailand is a treasure trove of free attractions.
Okay.
From breathtaking temples known as Wats to stunning waterfalls and pristine beaches.
Nice.
You can spend days, even weeks, exploring these natural and cultural wonders without spending a single baht.
That's amazing. It's like having an all-access pass to some of the most iconic destinations.
It is.
I remember reading about Waterroon in Bangkok,
Oh, yeah?
The Temple of Dawn.
Yeah.
With its intricate porcelain-covered spires.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a must-visit, definitely.
Okay, cool.
And for those Instagram-worthy shots,
Yeah.
think about places like Erawan National Park with its multi-tiered emerald green waterfalls.
Wow.
Or the iconic Rayleigh Beach in Krabi, accessible only by...
Surrounded by those dramatic limestone cliffs.
These places sound incredible.
They are.
But what about those experiences that do come with a price tag?
Okay.
Any tips on getting the best value for those paid attractions?
When it comes to tours, don't just jump at the first offer you see.
Okay.
Shop around, compare prices, read reviews.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can even DIY it cheaper.
Okay.
Using public transport.
Right.
For example, instead of taking a tour to the ancient city of Ayutthaya, you can easily get there by train from Bangkok.
Okay.
And explore at your own pace.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Sometimes the independent route offers more flexibility and a deeper experience.
Absolutely.
And speaking of temples, one of our sources mentioned a pro tip.
Oh, yeah.
For avoiding those pesky sarong rental fees.
Ah, yes. The temple dress code.
Yeah.
It's a common tourist trap.
Right.
To avoid those extra charges.
Yeah.
Pack appropriately.
Okay.
Light, loose-fitting pants that cover your knees. And a t-shirt that covers your shoulders.
Okay. Usually sufficient for most temples.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
It's those little things that can really add up.
Exactly.
So far, we've covered a lot of ground on the typical tourist trail.
Yeah.
But Thailand has so much more to offer.
Absolutely.
What about those beyond the usual experiences?
Right.
Their outline called them.
That's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
We briefly touched on dental tourism earlier,
Yeah.
which is actually a huge draw for many visitors to Thailand.
Right.
The country is known for its high-quality, affordable dental care.
Okay.
And many clinics cater specifically to international patients.
So you could combine a vacation with a dental checkup.
Yeah.
Maybe even some cosmetic work.
It's a thing.
Wow.
All at a fraction of the cost back home.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And speaking of things you might not have considered.
Okay. Here's another practical tip to save money and be eco-conscious.
Okay.
Ditch the bottled water.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So those plastic bottles can really add up.
They do.
Right. Both financially and environmentally.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Instead, invest in a refillable water bottle and a good water filter. You'll find water refill stations throughout Thailand,
Okay.
often for just a few bahts.
Perfect.
Not only will you save money, but you'll also reduce your plastic footprint.
That's a win-win for sure.
For sure.
Now, before we wrap up this section, I have to ask about ATM fees.
Okay.
They're a pain point for any traveler,
Oh, yeah.
especially when you're trying to stick to a budget.
You're telling me.
Right.
Thailand's international ATM fees can be quite high.
Yeah.
So the key is to withdraw larger sums less frequently
Right.
to minimize those charges.
One of our sources recommended Aeon Bank ATMs,
Okay.
which apparently have lower withdrawal fees compared to others.
That's good to know.
And if you're planning to use your credit card, which is widely accepted in many places, especially like supermarkets, restaurants, larger shops,
Right.
that can help you avoid ATM fees altogether.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we've covered accommodation, food, transportation, sightseeing, even dental care.
Yeah,
We're really painting a comprehensive picture
we are.
of budget-friendly Thailand. But before we send our listeners off to pack their bags,
Yeah.
what's your final pro tip
Okay.
to ensure they have an unforgettable experience without the financial stress?
My final piece of advice is simple.
Okay.
Remember, it's all about balance. Living like a monk to save every last baht isn't the goal.
Right.
It's about making smart choices that align with your priorities.
Right.
And then splurging strategically
Yep.
on those experiences that truly matter to you.
Okay.
If there's something you've always dreamed of doing in Thailand, whether it's attending a Muay Thai boxing match, taking a cooking class,
Right.
or visiting an elephant sanctuary,
Yeah.
make room for it in your budget.
That's such a great point.
Yeah.
It's your Thailand adventure, so make it memorable.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to treat yourself.
To those special moments that will stay with you
Right.
long after you return home.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not about deprivation. It's about making that budget work for you and having the most fulfilling experience possible. So we've talked about, saving money.
Yeah.
But what about the possibility of actually
Right.
making money while traveling in Thailand?
Ooh, that's a great point. It's not for everyone.
Right.
But teaching English as a foreign language, or TEFL, is quite popular in Thailand.
Okay.
It can be a fantastic way to fund your travels while immersing yourself in the culture and connecting with locals.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
It seems like a great option for those who want to extend their stay or even make travel
Right.
like a more sustainable part of their lifestyle.
Absolutely.
So wrapping up this deep dive into budget travel in Thailand, what are the key takeaways?
Well, the biggest takeaway is that Thailand on a budget is absolutely achievable.
Yeah.
You can have an incredible experience, savor delicious food, explore breathtaking sights. Right.
And create lasting memories without breaking the bank.
It's about being a savvy traveler.
Yeah.
You know, doing your research, knowing where to find the best deals, how to navigate local transportation,
Right.
and where to discover those hidden gems
Absolutely.
that often go unnoticed by the average tourist. And I think most importantly, it's about recognizing that travel is a personal journey.
It is.
It's about defining what matters most to you and crafting an experience that aligns with your individual interests and budget.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So to our listeners, we say this.
Yeah.
Embrace the spirit of adventure, pack your bags,
Mm.
and embark on your own unforgettable Thailand journey.
Yes.
You'll be amazed at what you can experience without spending a fortune.
Absolutely. And who knows?
Yeah.
You might even discover that traveling on a budget opens up a whole new world of possibilities and experiences that you wouldn't have encountered otherwise.
That's the beauty of travel.
It is. It's about stepping outside of your comfort zone,
Yeah.
embracing the unexpected, and creating memories that will last a lifetime.
Absolutely.
So we hope this deep dive has equipped you with the knowledge and the inspiration to plan your own incredible budget-friendly adventure in the land of smiles.
Safe travels.
Safe travels.